Have you ever wondered what happens to video game heroes after the credits roll? Once all the confetti settles? Well, it turns out saving the world leaves you with a ton of free time. And an empty quest log? Well, that's where things get weird. Today, we're kind of crashing a support group for some legendary figures who are dealing with some pretty heavy existential dread. So let's peek inside. Right? This is the question that haunts every hero. I mean, you've slain the dragon, you've deposed the evil emperor, you collected all the magical knickknacks. So now what? Do you take up knitting? Maybe start a podcast about ancient evils? Well, for the characters we're about to meet, the answer is to form a support group and just overthink everything. All right, let's do a quick roll call and meet the members of this interesting little therapy session. Every single one of them is a world-saving hero, and every single one is battling their own unique flavor of post-victory anxiety. So, first up to the plate, we have the Tiger Archer. This guy's a living myth, a master of chi, all that good stuff. But he's also just discovered that defeating ancient evils doesn't exactly come with a 401k. Let's just say he's having a bit of a career crisis. Okay, so what he's really saying is that after a whole career of being awesome and slaying dragons, he just feels stuck, He beat the big reptilian master, sure, but the system that created the villain is still chugging along. It's like the fantasy world version of hitting all your work targets, but still feeling like your job is completely pointless. We've all been there, man. Next, let's talk about the Frog Warrior. This dude's entire identity, his whole reason for being, was built around this one all-consuming quest for vengeance. The only tiny little problem, he's starting to think he might have, made the whole thing up. Whoa. Okay, yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. He spent his entire life planning to avenge a friend who was supposedly crushed by an evil mage, but the quest itself never even got off the ground. All that focus, all that pent-up rage, for absolutely nothing. It's like training for a marathon for 10 years and then just sleeping through your alarm on race day. Ouch. And would you look at this guy? Here comes our fantasy knight. He comes from the land of Rem, he rides a literal seahorse through the sky, and he's here to inform you that your dreams are just meaningless chemical reactions. Fun guy. And this is where it gets really strange. This mythical knight on a floating seahorse starts schooling everyone on dopamine and glutamate, explaining how brain chemistry tricks us into thinking our dreams matter. You're expecting some epic tale of chivalry, and instead you get a lecture straight out of a neuroscience textbook. Okay, moving on to our next member in Apprentice, which we're just going to call Elf 1. Look, we've all made mistakes at work, right? You send an email to the wrong person, you hit reply all when you definitely shouldn't have. Her little slip-up was just, slightly more apocalyptic. Yep, you heard that right. She tried to cast a simple, everyday curse, but her magical aim was a little off. So instead of hexing her enemy, she accidentally froze them in time, which, because they were already evil, basically just supercharged them. It's the ultimate magical backfire, a workplace oopsie of world-ending proportions. And finally, we have the alien plasma bomb. So it's this non-biological, giant mechanical eye that just observes the entire universe from its abyssal throne of despair. And to put it mildly, it is not the life of the party. Get this. This thing's entire purpose is to observe, and its profound conclusion is that observing is pointless. It's the ultimate downer, questioning the very reason for its own existence, and pretty much everyone else's too. All right, now that we've met our players, the real group discussion can get started. And the first major topic they tackle is a classic. Is it better to live in a cozy, comfortable illusion, or to face a cold, hard reality? And this just perfectly lays out the battle lines. On one side, you've got the Tiger Archer, who's basically asking, hey, if reality is a drag, what's so wrong with a little make-believe? But then on the other side, the Fantasy Knight is arguing that despair is the only thing that's truly real. It's the red pill versus the blue pill hero edition. So let's shift gears to the second big topic of the day. And wow, this one's a heavy one. It's that awful, sinking feeling that all the epic quests, all the grand battles, all the sacrifices might have added up to a big, fat 0. I mean, when you really lay it all out like this, you start to see a pretty clear pattern, don't you? The Tiger Archer's hollow victory, the Frog Warrior's quest that never was, the Elf's spectacular misfire, and the Plasma Bomb's nihilistic mic drop. It's just a highlight reel of existential failure. So, after all of this soul searching, all this philosophical debate, where do we end up? What is the big, life changing therapeutic breakthrough from our little session in the virtual abyss? And there it is, the virtual abyss. It's not just a state of mind, people, it's an actual destination. It's that metaphysical green room where all the heroes go to ponder the meaning of their programmed existence the second you pause the game to go make a sandwich. And for our final closing thought, we're going to turn it back over to our good friend, the alien plasma bomb, for the session's big takeaway. And it is, well, it's grimly practical. The meaning of life, you can either die alone and nobody cares, or you can have a partner with you while insects eat you both. So, I guess the moral of the story is, find a friend. Inspiring stuff. And that just about does it for our little explainer. It seems that even the most legendary heroes in the universe aren't immune to a good old-fashioned crisis of purpose. Which, of course, leaves us with just one final question to think about. What about you?